I just want to say before this podcast starts, this is our first podcast, so please understand it's not of the highest quality yet. We will be working long and hard to make it better in the future. With that being said, I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome to the Purple Room Podcast. Today I'm joined with Trevor Ashland,
Hello.
Gabriel McGuire,
Howdy.
and Jaden Stinson.
Yeah, buddy.
And I am Isaiah Moss. And Jaden, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we're in November. We got a month left of this decade. So I think we should recap on everything that happened this decade. Not like everything, but, standout moments.
Every single day.
Literally
second
everything.
Of every day.
Of everybody's lives of this past decade.
Oh, shoot. I guess we can start with, it's 10 years. Did you see yourself in 10 years from now, being the way you are?
No.
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 It's crazy to think about. I wouldn't, see myself actually doing this, you know what I mean? 10 years ago.
I think 10 years ago I was at home playing video games like a nerd, and just that was my life, just playing video
10
games.
years
That's
ago,
still your
we were
life.
fucking
That is
7
still my
years
life,
old.
but
8 years. I was
8 years old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was. Well, no. What are you talking about? 10 years ago? Yeah. I was
Just
eight.
this whole past decade, you
Yeah,
know
I
what
was
I mean?
eight.
The start of new decade.
What grade was it better?
I think
Would've been
second grade.
I don't remember my fucking junior year, let alone my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the past 10 years, obviously we all changed what we wanted to do when we graduated, our hobbies, friends, all of that's changed. What did you want to do 10 years ago?
when I was 10 years ago, I was the traditional 7-year-old goal of being a doctor.
Really?
That's what I wanted to be, a doctor. Didn't turn out that way.
I wanted to be a professional wrestler. That was my goal. That was what I wanted to do up till 8th grade.
What was your wrestler name?
I would have just went with. I've always wanted just to stay with my original name. I want to make
Black
this.
Thunder. Quarter Black Thunder.
Black Thunder. That would be the intro to my theme song too. It'll be me just Black Thunder. Ding, ding, ding.
We have a little announcement just to clarify, it is a quarter black.
It's a
Not
quarter
full.
Black Thunder
Quarter
actually. Would not lie. That's something that I've always dreamt of doing. I've always been a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
I never really wanted a real, quote unquote real job, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But once 8th grade hit, and we started doing that poetry month. No, and then
I just remembered.
and just writing was something that always
Yeah.
captivated me, and I've always wanted to do something with that, and that led me to doing we want to do music, and media type job, where I can work at my home. And work on my own.
Poetry slam.
Yeah, and work on my own schedule. The poetry slam. I was in the poetry slam.
For real?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I
Really?
remember fucking that one girl who had that poem, and I remember some
They
other
all
girl
had some
crying for it, and then it turned out the whole thing was plagiarized,
Oh yeah.
and then fucking Aiden was what was his? It was his about strawberries or some shit like that.
Don't really remember. I
He
remember
went all, he was going for it.
I got 4th place, which I should have got first. Let's be real. Mine was 13 ways to look at $1, and people loved it.
Yeah, I remember that.
The next day, all people could have said you should have won. I personally didn't like that poem. I didn't like it at all.
Do you remember any of my poems?
I remember the chair.
Yeah. All my poems were based on things to sit on. Chairs, stools, benches. Oh man.
Our English class was the
Dude,
best.
that was the best.
Was it you or Peyton that had the balls with the Z?
I think it was Peyton.
It was literally spelled BALLS and then with a Z. He added with a Z.
Balls.
Balls with a Z. No, it was
with a Z.
balls with a Z.
Yeah.
But that's how he have it spelled. That was crazy.
I remember we printed something out in that class, and it was that old dude that was
Oh yeah, with the
and
shrugging.
then, and then I swear, I see that picture like one time a month now, just on random shit, And I always think back to like, I would print it off, and then someone would go to get their paper, and they'd be like, "The fuck is it?"
Just an
that
old man
guy.
shrug.
Yeah.
So, Trevor, where did you see yourself in, like, back in the day?
Back in the
I wanted to be a lawyer for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck you.
I never knew that.
And then I don't know. I started seeing like my dad going to his shows, and then I wanted to get into music.
Yeah.
And
Whose phone went off in the workplace?
and no, I don't know. And then, I mean, it's hard to get in the music business. Like, you can do it as a hobby, but to do it professionally,
like I don't know, like this past decade, it really opened my eyes to how everybody has a start. It's not always easy, you know, but everybody gets through. Everybody.
Yeah.
If you
know
really.
what's funny, like, I feel like every rapper is always like, oh, I was at like my lowest, and I started rapping, and then I made it to the top. I want like one person to be like, y'all motherfuckers, I was on top already. And he's
Fucking
like,
Lil Pump, basically.
that was Lil Pump?
Basically, when he first started, like, he was already big.
No, not I mean, like, he was smart. Like, he went to Harvard and shit, but he didn't.
Then he dropped out.
Yeah.
Hey, he actually went to Harvard?
No, he never went to Harvard.
Yes, he did.
He's our age.
Yeah, he's literally 17.
He was born in August 2000.
He never
That's
went
like
to Harvard.
that's like his little
Where
gimmick.
did I hear about him going to Harvard from?
That was like his little gimmick. Harvard dropout. That's what he always called. Like, he said he was smart enough to go to Harvard. And
Just another reason to hate Lil Pump.
yeah, he actually dropped out of school.
He has a whole shotgun name after him. He must be popular, right?
Honestly,
Like-
but with music this past decade, do you guys think the 2000s so far is the best decade of music?
Bro was getting musty in this room.
Yeah.
It's getting
The
pretty fucking
2000s?
Or
No, like the 2010s. Like, do you think this decade was the best of music, or would you say 2000s was, or the 90s, 80s?
I think for me, it's just this decade because I found music that I like more than I did back in the day.
Yeah.
Just, like, to my preference. But
So here's the thing, though. Like, you think, like, there are certain time periods of, like, when music has changed, like, completely. Like, with the Beatles, that started kind of like the pop upbeat more.
Yeah.
And then it went to, like, rock, and then gray area, and then it went to, like, pop in the 2000s, and, like, the 90s, I guess. But, like, I don't think, and then during the 2000s, it got to more, like, EDM type.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, this, from 2010 to now, like, I don't think there's been, like, a song that's really changed, like, how other songs have changed.
Like how it really
Like, I feel like it is,
changed the game of
there's
music.
no new foundation. Like, it's always the same foundation. Like, they can add new stuff
Yeah.
that makes it a little different, but there's nothing that's, like, changed the game of music.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. It's nothing like too groundbreaking. Like how Kanye made his groundbreaking Graduation.
Yeah.
That was in 2007. You know
See,
what I
that was
mean?
back in
Like,
the
yeah,
2000s.
so like 2000s, that's what really changed. And yeah, this 2010, like 2010s.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's still good music.
Oh yeah, there's still
there's nothing
great,
that's,
like
like,
a
changed
lot
the
of good
game.
music. Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't
Guys
know,
got a favorite album this past decade?
album.
Albums.
Over 10 years.
MCID. Friday, November 8th.
Dude, Tokyo Ghoul, best song ever.
It's okay.
Favorite album.
I'm gonna have to
Over
go
the
with.
past decade.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
2000.
So I gotta think back.
I love me some Rockhampton. Not gonna lie, I like Saturation too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I feel like alternative made a big leap
Yeah,
this past
that's for
decade.
sure.
Like with all
21 Pilots.
like
and-
yeah.
Yeah, that was I'm trying to think, like, before 21 Pilots, I don't really know a big band that,
Like I knew there was like the Strokes. There's Strokes.
yeah,
They're
I
alternative.
listened to that. Like, my mom was, like, the Strokes.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to, like, Julian Casablancas, and, like, he's a good singer, but he's one of those singers that's not as good on his own.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah. Like there's a couple of them that like 11th Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an R&B song, but it's nothing like when he was in the Strokes.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. How about like a standout song, you guys would say? Like I know there's this website Pitchfork. They did a top 200 albums and songs of the past decade, and I agree with some of it, but some of it like I would have changed around or not even or would have added, to it. Like
Standout songs.
yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul.
No, like Highly Suspect. They didn't throw any Highly Suspect song or album in the top 200, which I think is crazy. But Highly Suspect isn't that big of a band for everybody to know. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of people really know about them.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people locally do. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about like, across the whole United States or
Mhm.
anything, but
I mean, Serotonia, My Name Is Human. They got a Grammy nomination.
yeah,
before.
my mom loves My Name Is Human. Like,
I showed my mom Highly Suspect, and she listened to it. She's listening to it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
sounds
such a
cool.
relatable band.
Yeah, and dude, I was so surprised when I found out my dad had been listening to them for like a while.
Yeah.
Like, before I. Heard
I mean, they've been making music for a hot
Yeah,
minute. You know
Because he
what I
said
mean?
they've been playing their songs for a good long while.
Yeah. Like I listened. Like they had an album before Mr. Asylum, and I actually gave it a gander, and it's not good. You know what I mean? Like the production's just bad. It just sounds weird. But like once they really got the money to make better music, like better production with Mr. Asylum, it was phenomenal.
mhm.
And then my Boy Who Died Wolf, they just did such a better job with
The album is beautiful.
that album. Very good storytelling, big time.
I think probably two of my favorite songs, or like, I don't know. It's either New Light by John Mayer.
Okay.
That song, like when I first
Thank
heard
you
that,
for showing me that song.
when
Yeah,
I
by the
first
way.
heard that, I was like, oh my god.
Were you in the car when you showed
Oh, yeah,
me?
we were all
in the
That was the
car.
best. That was
And
the
I was
best time.
You were starting to play Africa, and I was like, fuck, this is a good song. But then I'm like, I really want to show him, but then I was thinking like, well, what if I fucking hate it? Then I just stopped.
Dude.
Africa.
I felt so wonderful.
Dude, it's just good. It's so upbeat.
It is.
It's so like light.
It felt like I felt like just bright colors.
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes
I know.
sense, you know what I mean? It's
You
just like
feel good.
yeah. It's a very upbeat, like good song just to throw on. Even though like the lyrics doesn't seem very upbeat,
Dude,
you know what I
the
mean?
lyrics are straight up about him being like somebody's side hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being friend zoned and shit.
Yeah,
and, like,
and then like he gets turned down. So like the lyrics.
There's
don't
such,
pay
like-
attention to the lyrics.
there's like a lot of songs like that.
Yeah.
With like, have you listened to like?
21 Pilots is a big like. They do that a lot.
Yeah.
They're really upbeat.
Oh
but,
yeah.
like their like lyrics are like
Their
really
lyrics are
messed up.
depressing.
Legend. I like Legend a lot. Legend's about his grandpa that died from Alzheimer's.
You guys rather know if you like the day you're gonna die?
No, I don't want to
No,
know
I'd
when I
rather
die.
not. I'd rather it be a surprise.
Just because I don't want to be shadowed by the thought like, oh, I'm gonna die in this amount
Yeah,
of
that's
days.
the whole like mentality.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Be like, you know.
But at the same time, like if I did find out, I'm living it up. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at
Fuck,
the
I might
same
die
time-
before I might have to
Murder a
die.
couple
You know?
people, you know?
Jeez, you're not going to jail, sir.
I'm gonna do everything I can, get into prison, and be like, "What you gonna do? Kill me?" And just be like, "No, man. I like not to sound depressing, but I have this feeling like I'm gonna die like young, like 30s."
I don't see that.
I feel that.
I don't want to live for a very long time.
I thought you were about to say you don't want to live. I'm like,
Don't live at all.
I
Shots hit down, gotta
No,
mood
dude.
change real quick.
One, I have this feeling like I can't see myself past like 37. Like that number has been there for like a year now. Like it's just weird. Like I don't know if it's true or not, or it's just me just being fucking weird. But like, also I fucking hate old people. Like I do. They're just fucking bitches. Like all the time.
Well,
Well,
think
that's their
about.
choice.
Well, I
You
mean,
can be a happy old man.
I don't
Yeah, I
wanna.
know, but
If
it's-
I'm gonna
Sorry.
grow to be old,
Yeah.
I don't want to be miserable.
No, I
That's
get
just
that
my
too,
worst thing.
yeah.
If I'm actually successful, yeah, I would want to live.
But I mean, if you're in pain constantly, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
if
like,
you're
fuck that.
old and everything's like hard to do.
Yeah, and
it's-
if
yeah,
I'm just
it's-
miserable, like, what's the point of
I
keep
own the
living?
gun, I'm just gonna.
That's why at the age of 22, I'm hiring a hitman.
Sick.
He said, from now until I'm 60, anytime, just get it done.
I was like, hey, it's that time. So yeah, I was just
No, but it'll be a surprise. I'll be like, don't tell me it's happening. Just do it.
surprised.
What if he
me,
chooses
I-
that day though?
That day,
Well,
he
then
just.
that day, you know,
It's like, well, I'm
he
gonna
just
do
turned
it.
to walk. He's like,
It's like some.
That's all of it.
But
What if you have like a wife and kids though, and like you just
Well,
like
yeah.
sitting there like you're just eating lunch.
you
with
might.
your,
If
with your
Some
family.
dude walks into your
I
house
mean,
and
I'll
just
have a
fucking kills
kid,
you.
but should vet first though. Nah.
What else about this past decade
Oh yeah.
like stands out to you guys? Do you think there's ever gonna be a point in time where they're gonna stop talking about 9/11?
No, I think it was like
Like,
people still talk about that Titanic, and that was fucking over.
but not as
movie.
much as like 9/11.
I think it's just because it's more recent. Like,
Yeah,
That and
like you
just-
guys see like 30 years from now, like your kids are in school and like it's
I think it's gonna be not to the point where like we talk about wars,
yeah.
like we study them in history. I think it's gonna be like that, but just not to like the higher degree. Like it's gonna be like. I
So
think,
they know what happened.
Yeah, I think 9/11 was such a big deal because it kind of pointed out like how shitty like our security and shit like that was for
Oh,
the
yeah.
United States, which made it like that's why like everything got crazier with like security, especially in
why
like
there's airport
airports.
security.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's what just made it also a bigger deal.
I don't know, like what also made it such a huge deal is that like that's what brought America together as
Yeah, that's
one.
true.
But looking at that, like that's the only time America ever does get together is when there's a tragedy. That's when anything like family, friends get together really. Like, you know what I
Dude.
mean?
Have you heard? This is a little off topic, but it goes with you. Have you ever heard the song "Show Up" by Akon?
Mm-mm.
It is not on like Spotify or Apple Music, but look it up on YouTube because it talks about that.
Yeah.
Because he like, I mean, I don't know this, but he like raps about like growing up in like the hood, and like everybody was always at each other's throats until like something tragic happened, and then they all came together like they were friends. And
Yeah.
he pointed that out how it was just shitty that was the way it worked.
Oh yeah, that's
Which it was like it makes sense, and it's got a sad like he starts off the song singing about like somebody got shot down, and like his mom was crying at the funeral, and that's when like he just called them like fake for coming together, which kind of sounds mean.
right. No,
but it just
I agree.
points out to be like you wouldn't have done this any other day unless this happened.
Yeah. No,
Which
definitely.
That was it was just
Because it's like
good
it's
song.
very, very true.
I liked it. It was a good song. But anyway, yeah.
You know something that did happen this decade that like I've always thought about, but like it's just stopped being talked about. Remember that plane that just disappeared?
Oh,
Dude, yeah.
What the fuck happened to that plane? Like it's
my
just
garage.
gone. You know
Dude,
what I
I
mean?
think
Do you
that's
think it's
weird.
ever gonna be discovered?
I
Dude,
don't know.
it's in my garage. It's been there for like 2 years now.
What?
Found it in the ocean. I just dragged it out.
Dude, I was like, oh, what the?
Hey,
put
remember
it in
when
my back pocket.
me and Gabe went on that Florida trip? Yeah, we just dragged it out.
Swear, it was just chilling there the whole time. It
Yeah,
was
we're on
just
jet
blowing.
skis. Like, hey, what's this plane doing here?
So we picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
Surprisingly light.
get so surprised though. Like big shit like that happens, and then it gets like blown over, and like
It was talked
no
about for
one
like
talks about
yeah,
it.
let's talk about for like a good month maybe,
Yeah.
and then just
it
like
just stopped. Like,
Yeah.
it just stopped.
they just kind of like, yep, it's gone, and then move
It's
on.
gone.
And all
Like,
the
you want to know
people-
what I'm surprised about though? Recently in September, they released that video of the UFOs.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, like they straight up, it was, but they released it. This is 2019. This was shot back in like 2008, and they just released it. Like the CIA just released it, and it was like straight up legit. But it's these like, it's this these pilots, and there's these circles that you can see like small, like I don't know how big, but just in the video they're small, and they're going against the wind, but they're going like fast and they're zigzagging like everywhere, like weird. Like you should look it up.
But the
But
CIA posted that.
no, they legit were like these are like unidentified flying objects, like, and they just straight up posted it.
Dude, they're like, I'm convinced
Like,
that
they released
the
it.
government's hiding shit from us.
Dude, definitely.
Dude,
We were
They-
talking about that in current world issues. Like, I want to know how much shit the government is like hiding from people.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Porter was saying
Area
like
51.
to a point, because you would think how, like, just guessing how many threats against the United States you think are made in a day. Like, you gotta think,
Yeah.
like, a lot. But do you want like every single threat? You want it to be like, oh, this person threatened to bomb this city today. Okay, goodbye. And then like,
Yeah.
So, like, there's certain things that I think should be kept
Mhm.
just to the government,
Oh,
just
yeah,
to
I agree.
not like have widespread panic.
Yeah.
But then there are other things like the UFO.
Like, do you think like they have aliens or
Like
they ever
aliens?
captured
Oh,
aliens?
Why the hell do they hide aliens? Like, what's the point?
for real.
What's the
Yeah.
dude? Like, that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
I
I'm
mean-
pretty sure it'd be pretty nice to know that there's actually
Like,
life out there.
J.
It's
Cole.
not just us on this one planet.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like there's billions of other planets. There's got to be like
Endless.
just
Like other form of life.
statistically, there has to be other forms of life. Like there's no way
That's just
that it's
Earth that
just
has life
this
on it.
one
Well,
planet that has like
Oh,
living
yeah.
creatures.
Speaking of that, they just discovered a planet a couple months ago. It's like a couple solar systems away, size of Jupiter, but it's Earth.
yeah,
like,
there's like I
Isn't it
remember
called
they call it like
Darwin?
Earth 2 or something.
Yeah.
They called it Darwin or something.
and NASA
No,
was
it's Mr. Mark.
uh,
He discovered it.
NASA was like, they were trying to like figure out a way sometime in like the far future to get over there. Like if our planet ever starts like failing or whatever.
Yeah.
It already
That'd
is
be
failing.
cool.
What do you mean?
Dude, how crazy would it be though? Like you think Earth is huge, like just us now, like how big Earth is, but what if it was the size of Jupiter? Like how much more shit on
Yeah,
Earth?
like we don't know anything for a fact.
I know, dude.
We really don't. All we have are just like theories and
But just imagine later on in the
And-
future just leaving Earth and going to a different planet, like leaving all that history behind.
I know.
Well, I think the real future right now, like near future, lies what's underneath the water. 'Cause,
I
like,
was just thinking
98 or 97% of the water has not been like looked at.
the two things I always wonder, and it kind of freaks me out to think about, of like one like space, like outer,
yeah,
Outer
like what's
space.
out of there.
and the ocean.
Dude, there's
Yeah, like what's actually in our planet. you
that's
know
the
what I mean?
terrifying part. I believe in like the Cthulhu thing, like not like actual like Cthulhu, but like a giant like squid that's like just huge or something.
Yeah.
Just
The
at the very
fucking
bottom. We've never been to the very bottom.
Mandalorian, or that, no, it's another Disney Plus TV show. Fucking, what's it called? The big ass shark.
The megalodon.
Megalodon, yeah.
Dude, there's a lot on this planet. Like we haven't
Yeah.
even discovered yet.
And
You know
we're
what I
trying to
mean?
go to-
There's people on this planet that don't even know what's on this planet, if that makes sense. You know, that's just so like out of touch of everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just a lot,
You know what else I think though? Time travel.
dude.
You think that's true? You think the government's hiding that?
That's
I believe
a
it's
stretch.
scientifically
Yeah.
possible.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
just
though.
don't know
You think
if-
they have the people? Like, there's people
Well,
that
you
have
can't
figured
time
it out.
travel when time isn't a thing.
I
It's a
mean,
man-made thing.
But there's a
So I don't
way,
need time
like
travel.
particle. I don't know. I'm not a
There's-
scientist.
that's what I'm thinking. Though. There's
well, there's
gotta
like
be
a way to
somebody
go. You have
that,
to go
like,
back
studies
into the
this shit.
past. You know. I mean, technology just gets better and better.
Yeah, I know. That's what
You
I'm
know what I
saying.
mean?
There's got to be with
I wouldn't be surprised.
technology and scientists and just straight up smart people.
Yeah,
like,
with
all
the-
coming together.
Oh yeah, with how smart everybody's getting, like I wouldn't be surprised if
How
within the
hell
near,
do you go to
within the
past?
future,
That's what
like
you're saying though. Government, man, they're hiding
How
shit.
do you figure out? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to the past.
You got to think too. Like, how have
How do you make a machine that can go back in time?
people not
Exactly.
invented
possible.
a car that can run on water?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You got to think. You're talking about gas, and here's why. Here's why I think it. So the government, right? They regulate like gas and oil.
Yeah.
Which brings in money. that's why they silenced the project that has a car that runs on water, because water is like the cheapest thing you can get, and it covers like what 97% or something like. Or
It's
something
like 75%.
Yeah,
of all Earth.
75%.
It's possible
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because we're already making power out of steam.
Exactly. So
Like,
why
that's
haven't
what
we
a nuclear
gotten
plant is.
a fucking car that runs on water? It's because if we do, like, the government's not going to get as much money, which they spend on time travel and aliens.
It's possible, dude. I think it is.
Come on. You gotta-
Anything is possible. Nothing's impossible.
Speaking of the future, this channel has a lot of growth and a lot of new things that we're going to be trying. So expect more to come and a lot more of these talks. Any final statements from anyone?
Don't trust the government.
Jaden's black.
And there's gonna be more content on your way.
Don't trust the dust.
Don't trust
trust
the
the
dust.
Do not trust the dust.
Before I end this recording, I just want to let you guys know that our future isn't only podcast. We plan on moving into music, skits, gaming, and far more. Stay tuned and follow the channel for more to come. Thank you for listening.